Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Hello and welcome to the Real Ramblers. I am Bill Howard. This is my brother Lee.
Blah, blah. I am a Dracula.
And today we're talking about comedies. No. Today our subject is a subgenre of horror that's very dear to me. Our favorite vampire movies.
Yeah.
Always loved vampires. I remember going to my grade school library and they had film books. And there was like horror film books in our school.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know. And they were like the big like coffee table books and they'd have all these pictures from horror movies and stuff. It was awesome. So ever since, and I used to draw them. I used to draw vampires when I was young.
What did I say? Was your school library? Did you go to Sunnydale?
Yes, I did.
Was Giles there? Like, yes, you can take that book out.
I went to Transylvania Public. So I've always loved vampires. And I think it helps. Vampires are a thing, I think, when you're a kid that you can get into thanks to stuff like Count Chocula or The Count on Sesame Street. Like vampires are not just in the scary stuff.
It's not like Freddy or something where, I mean, granted, we watched like shit like that when we were kids, but but like.
But I mean, even younger than when you would have watched that.
Yeah. But those classic monsters
vampires
are kind of like a good, I don't know, just like intros to horror. The Monster Squad is like a good horror movie for kids and stuff, and like fucking Dracula.
Plus the Universal stuff when you were a kid, we would have had access to on TV or whatever. Mm-hmm. So vampires have always been a staple.
Oh yeah.
When compiling my list of favorite vampire movies, there was a lot more than I thought there'd be.
Me too. It's like I have a few note cards that's like I didn't write things about them. I just wrote the movies. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like I would just Google just for like a reminder, best vampire movies or whatever. And then like a giant list would come up and I'm like, oh yeah, of course. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
We're just, every episode we do now is going to be a two-parter.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's start this off the way we've started off other ones. When you think of vampire movie, what's the first movie that pops into your head?
The Lost Boys, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I just probably me too.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good ones, and it's like, I don't know. I'm like, is that one my favorite? Maybe actually, but it's like there's so many good ones. It's hard to choose, right? But the Lost Boys, there's something. Maybe again, it's just like it came out 88, right? I think
that sounds right.
It came out at a time where it's like that nostalgia thing, like what you see as a kid kind of imprints on your soul. and it's like, it was just at that right time. And it's just like, it's so good as a movie. Like it doesn't,
it's one of those movies, I think that was, it was one of those things where it was just the magic of time, place, director, writer, stars.
Totally. Yeah.
That just lined up and created something. It's weird because it's one of those movies where you look at it and you're like, I don't know if you described it to somebody, if you'd think, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Like it seemed strange and like Corey Haim's character is so odd and seems misplaced in the movie. And yet that was kind of a good representation of, awkward kids at at that stage where they're into things that the usual kids aren't.
I love that Corey Haim has both. He has like a poster of like Rob Lowe, like a sexy Rob Lowe poster, and like an Ali Sheedy poster or something like that.
Yeah, and he had that sorority girls movie, Reform School Girls. Reform School Girls. Yeah. He had that poster up in his room too.
Yeah.
But the thing I loved about Corey Haim's character is even though he was kind of, I don't know, would you call him effeminate?
Well, he's like hardcore bisexual kid who hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, like he was
he was
doing a lot of things that in '88 a lot of teenagers didn't do. Like
totally, even like wardrobe and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely,
boys. And he had like
more flamboyant,
his hair had product, I guess, if that's the right. Things that a lot of boys didn't do at the time. But what I loved about it is that his character was super confident in himself.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. It wasn't played off like a joke,
right?
You know what I mean?
Most kids in the '80s in movies, if they were different from the norm, would be outcasts and rejects, and they kept to themselves, and he wasn't.
Especially 80s movies like Oof Ba Boof. There's a lot of,
that was a big thing. Because it reflected society.
Yeah.
But I love that his character was written, and I'm sure a large part of it was Corey Haim himself.
Yeah.
He came across as this, like he meets the Frog Brothers for the first time and they're trying to be intimidating and he's just like, whatever. They didn't phase him at all.
No.
You should read this, Vampire. Right? And he's like, I don't like horror comics.
Yeah. Also, your fucking comic section is all fucked up. Like,
it was great. He really, I think he might be one of the first, well, I don't know. I'd have to research it. But he's one of the first kids I can remember in a movie that embraced his geekiness.
Yeah, totally. It's like he was kind of like us. You know what I mean? Or he was like the voice of the audience.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was such like a crazy character and going through crazy stuff. And he was like the kid that's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we were going on the journey with Sam.
Yeah. And I want to mention anybody who talks about The Lost Boys probably doesn't mention what I think is one of the movie's strongest points, and that's Diane Wiest.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're a real...
Diane Wiest, I love.
Bill's got a real Wiest infection.
I do.
I totally ripped that off from
awesome.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Boyle like loves
really?
Diane Wiest. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I watched that show. Wow.
Super funny. But yeah, Bill's got a real...
But she's fantastic.
She's so good in it. Yeah.
She's so good. And she's like that reality anchor in the whole story.
Grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Keep going.
And I love that through the whole thing, she's just trying to she's just like, I just want to hook up with a dude. Like, I just really want to go on a date.
Yeah, she's like, she just got divorced and just like, it's time to move on, boys.
Yeah, it was great. And Grandpa's great.
Oh my God, everybody.
All the characters are so good in it.
The makeup is fantastic. I love...
Greg Cammon.
Yeah, the fangs, I love.
I always say his name, Canham.
Yeah, it's crazy how like that movie, like in initial script stages started out, and the vampires were kids. Like kids.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. When the script
that actually could have been interesting.
Which kind of makes a little bit more sense because The Lost Boys is a Peter Pan reference, right? To all those kids.
Right.
And it was supposed to be little kids. And then Joel Schumacher got the script and he's like, let's make these sexy boys. But it worked, right?
It totally worked.
Yeah.
And of course, the anchor of the cool sexiness was Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patric.
Yeah.
Who were both, and Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
Like they took those three leads and just went like, okay, one's going to be the uber confident alpha male.
Yeah.
And then Jason Patrick's is going to be the absolute most brooding post-teen. I don't know if he was supposed to be like 19 or 20 or something.
I don't know, because I don't think Diane Wiest was like, there's going to be some changes once school starts.
Oh, really?
So maybe he was supposed to be like 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously he looked like 26, but...
Yeah. But he was like the definition of brooding.
Oh, yeah, totally.
He was so great.
Even when it's like, we always laugh when we rewatch the movie.
Very underrated actor.
When they're at the concert, which also, I still believe. Like, dude, you're in the movie for 30 seconds and you are a fucking legend now, which is amazing. Goddamn.
Not to mention that party on the boardwalk. I just wanted to be there.
Yeah.
The whole carnival and that party. Oh my God, yeah.
Just everything about that movie is great.
Okay, well, I'm going to share a personal story.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Oh God. I feel like it's going to be embarrassing and great. Let's go.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and an old friend of mine, Ryan.
I wrote a love letter to Jason Patric.
If you're out there, Ryan, and you're listening, I won't say your last name just because I don't have your permission to say your last name, but you know who you are. Ryan and I were both big Lost Boys fans, and us and a bunch of friends are planning to go to the X.
Okay. Oh boy.
For anybody who doesn't live around Toronto, the X is like a big summer exhibition, which is like a big carnival Ferris wheel. Yeah, the CNE. The CNE. And so we were all going, and we were going at night.
Okay.
And we were big fans. So both Ryan and I got jackets and drew Lost Boys logos on the back.
Okay.
And I am not kidding when I say that whole night we walked around. Viewers or listeners, if you could only see my face, Lee can describe it. But we were basically like...
Okay, it's kind of a Zoolander-y face.
Yeah. We were acting like we were vampires walking around.
How old were you at the time?
And the music... Well, this would have been after Lost Boys. So I would have been 19.
Too old to do this.
19, 20. Well, nobody there knew we were pretending to be
They didn't know
vampires.
we were vampires.
But all the music, like from the merry-go-rounds, were it was all playing, and we felt it. Like
Totally,
and
yeah,
it was a hot
You were
summer night.
cosplaying before people were cosplaying.
We invented cosplay.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we walked around that whole night at the CNE wearing our Lost Boys jackets and thinking we were vampires, and it felt fantastic.
Nice. And then you killed a bunch of people at a bonfire that night,
I wasn't
right?
going to mention that
Bit
part.
into their heads like they were goddamn candy apples.
All right. Well, this episode actually isn't just about Lost
No,
Boys.
it's hard because we love it so much, but also the soundtrack is fucking dope.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The pacing is great. The production design is great. Grandpa's house is amazing.
Oh my God, I want to live there so bad.
Yeah.
There's literally only like one goofy thing in the movie that I know you'll agree on.
Yeah.
Is that Max as a vampire looks really dumb.
He does, but I always
They gave him
kind of
eyebrows.
But I
No,
always
maybe
kind of
not.
liked that it showed that vampires aren't necessarily all
Sexy
like
teen
like
boys.
he's an older vampire that's presumably been around for a while. So I like that they kind of
It's
made
just to
him
make him look
weird.
goofy on that guy's fucking moon face.
But I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of creepy and cool.
But I still
liked
want
it.
you, Lucy. I haven't changed my mind about that.
And don't be going back forth across that road.
Fred Gwynn played him.
They were exactly the same voice.
Yeah, it's so good. Lost Boys is amazing, and I'm so glad they never made 2 direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah. And I wonder if Greg Canham's makeup is what inspired like Buffy and stuff, because it was very
also the forehead. Yeah. I love
it
Lost
became
Boys.
an iconic vampire look.
Yeah, it
So-
totally did. It's so part of me wishes we could have seen them flying, but I also like that you don't. It's neat.
Yeah. When they attacked that couple and ripped the roof
that
off the
noise?
car and
Yeah.
that fluttering.
That's exactly it.
that and you hear like a
the fluttering of like
Yeah.
their jackets.
Yeah,
So
it's
cool.
awesome.
Everything about it's fucking cool. That's what this room is. One giant coffin. Fucking Corey Feldman. Guy, you're 16. Why are you talking like that anyway?
oh my god, it's Evil Eddie Mustard. The rest of this episode will just be impersonated quotes from the Lost Boys.
You wait till Mom finds out.
And you must be Max.
Oh my God. What are we at? 20 minutes now? Okay. So
Pretty close.
cray. Okay. Who cares if we go a bit longer? It's 2024.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
The rules don't apply anymore.
That's right.
Okay. So for you, what would be the next kind of vampire movie that jumps into your brain?
I don't know. It's tough. Like Bram Stoker's Dracula is always very, 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 very high on my list.
Me too. That movie is fucking great.
It's Francis Ford Coppola in his genius. I heard that when he decided that, I think it was Winona Ryder brought it to him.
Oh, maybe.
I think she
that
was the
sounds
one
familiar.
who started it, getting it made. And then he was intrigued by the idea. And then they both came up with the idea of let's actually make it like truer to the book than any movie's ever done. Let's actually do the diary entries and everything.
Yep.
And then Coppola was like, I wonder if I could do everything with old school effects instead of using any new effects. And that, for me, made the movie.
Yeah.
The fact that they were all like practically silent era tricks.
Oh yeah, it's amazing the look of it, and like all the
backwards filming and like all kinds of crazy stuff.
kind of like the shadow puppet type things
amazing.
of the battles and stuff. Yeah,
even Dracula's shadows on the wall, how they would be doing different things than he's doing.
Movie, yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's funny, everybody always immediately, when you bring it up, everybody brings up Keanu Reeves and his accent.
I've seen many strange things
But
already.
upon rewatchings, it doesn't bother me very much.
It's one of those things where it's like, is his accent great? No. Is the rest
And
of the movie
he
incredible?
admits that.
Yeah.
I've seen him in interviews, like actually apologize and say, I'm sorry if I ruined that movie for anybody. Because
Keanu, you can do no wrong.
I know.
You know what? A for effort, buddy.
Yeah.
That's me.
But everybody, Anthony Hopkins, like off his fucking
oh my
rocker.
God, yeah. His Van Helsing is like,
is going to be the devil's concubine. Like he's like insane.
It's like, do you have dementia? Like you are bananas.
But it worked.
It's perfect.
He was so good.
The whole cast
and everybody,
is like,
Richard E. Grant, Billy Campbell.
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Fucking
great.
Tom Waits is in it.
Yeah.
Like,
all great.
And
all
obviously,
set design, I want to say it won Oscars for production design and costumes. I know it won for costumes.
yeah.
The costumes were
the costumes are incredible. That red armor, like I want to get married in that.
Beautiful. And when he's old Dracula, that red robe. It's just gorgeous.
It's just so amazing. All the vampire stuff is awesome. The
and
makeup
all
stuff
the weird tricks he did, like when the 3 brides were attacking Keanu and he comes into the room and makes them all flee.
I still don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Francis Coppola did a thing where he like put Gary Oldman way up high. It was like he was on really tall. If you watch it again,
he's like kind of glides
is like
in
14 feet long, but he's up on it.
When the brides like walk away, they do like they're joined at the waist. Yeah, I don't know even how to describe it.
They're like linked and going backwards.
Yeah, I'm like crazy. What the fuck am I looking at?
So cool.
It's also like a super like horny movie.
Oh, big time.
It's funny. It's this thing of like. You don't normally think of like monsters and stuff as being like sexy and stuff.
But that's what the novel was.
The
novel's very sexual in what Dracula is.
Like I mean, also Lucy. Heyo. Heyo, swing. Fucking topical reference.
You're so current in your pop culture references.
But yeah, like when like Big Wolf Guy and Lucy are like,
I'm just waiting for the Alf impersonation.
Alf. Cats. Where's the cats? Anyway, yeah, when it's like when he's like the fucking werewolf guy and he's like going to like Pound Town with Lucy
on that like stone bench in the garden.
It's like the dean from Community, like, it's better not awaken something in me. But it's so like Lucy's fucking when she's like in the white when she's dead and she's Have you seen the behind the scenes where the kid was like terrified?
Yeah.
So she's trying to be nice and be like, look, I can take my teeth out. And the kid's just like, I'm being held by a demon.
The making of Bram Stoker's Dracula is one of my favorite making ofs.
Gary Oldman's.
The scene where he's on the bed with Winona Ryder.
Trying to remember the line and like
and he can't remember, or I don't think it was that he couldn't remember it. I think it was that it wasn't coming out the way he wanted it to,
right?
Because it was
will not the thing like condemn you to this.
Yeah, damn, I can't
remember.
I love you
too much to condemn you.
Yeah, I love you too much. That was it.
Yeah.
So, and he's grabbing her, and you can see Winona Ryder's face is just like, she's like, oh, well, I'll let him work through it. And then he backs up and kind of puts his head back like he's and then he just went into it.
He like hit his head 3 times. He like smacked himself in the head to
then he grabs her and he goes, I love you too much. And her face is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant. You watch it's just like watching the scenes of Nicholson behind the scenes in The Shining, getting psyched for the act scenes. It's great. When you see those great actors preparing, it's beautiful.
Obviously, I love the Bela Lugosi Dracula because it's a classic.
Yeah.
Although it's funny rewatching it now because it's like you forget things like he doesn't have fangs.
Yeah.
And because of the time, they didn't even, you never saw him bite anybody because it was like, you can't show that. That's way too fucking risque.
Yeah.
But it's such like a classic, but Gary Oldman probably is my favorite Dracula. I know a lot of people really like Christopher Lee, and I thought he was
Christopher Lee's great, but they're great for different reasons.
That's it. That's kind of the cool thing, right? Is that same character, different takes on it, all still valid. Leslie Nielsen, Dracula didn't love me. Just kidding. Next.
So okay, at some point we're gonna have to just flip through a few because we're spending a lot of time on singles. Like, but I want to bring up a couple of my other like all-time favorites before we dig into like catalog.
Yeah.
So George Romero's Martin is one of my all-time favorites. Of course, diehard Romero fan. And
he did not make Die Hard.
Oh yeah, right. But it's funny that when you talk to general horror fans, a lot of people haven't seen Martin. Right. But if you talk to diehard Romero fans, they hold it in almost as high regard as Dawn of the Dead. Like it's a real Romero fan favorite.
Yeah.
And it's an odd movie because it's super, super low budget.
Very.
And John Amplas was a regular person who worked with Romero behind the scenes and in front of the camera. And
that's the dude that played Martin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was in the lead, which I don't think he'd been a lead in anything up to then. And it's got a strange aesthetic and
really weird. I feel like and I could be wrong, you correct me, but I feel like this seems like maybe it's
Romero's. And we'll just let the audience know you just watched this for the first time? Or just for the first time in a long time?
I saw it as a kid, which probably maybe I shouldn't have.
Yeah, there's some serious shit in that.
Yeah, there really is. So I'm going to just count this as my first time seeing it because I remember it and stuff. So this, I feel like, is this like Romero's maybe like artsiest
Definitely.
movie, I would say, because it's like very,
especially the flashback / dream sequences.
Yeah, like the black and white stuff.
Yeah.
For anybody that maybe has not seen it, like just a real quick kind of summary is like a kid he's only like 17, 18 maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
And it's like he's not an actual vampire. He's like it's
a psychological condition. Yeah.
And he thinks he's a vampire, but it's like he kills people and drinks their blood.
Covertly.
With needles and stuff. Also, this is like a real quick sidebar. This is because when I started watching it, because it really just jumps into it at the beginning, and I was like,
train,
did I miss something? Like what? Oh fuck! It's
the first scene, the train.
Yeah. There's especially for horror movies, because obviously there's certain things that some people out in the world don't like seeing in movies.
Yeah.
Right. That are hard to watch and stuff, like animal abuse and stuff. So for anybody that has ever been leery about a movie, there's a website you can go to called doesthedogdie.com, and it lists like every possible triggering type thing, and it's super 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 helpful because like Jordan, there's certain things that she is really not comfortable with seeing. But I mean there's everything in there that you could and they categorized it now that it's updated all the time, because
and for Martin it's like kind of sexual assault would be the trigger.
But anyway, so and then he goes to live with his cousin,
even though it's not sexual as much, but it's assault.
I mean, it's very
assault
assaulty,
of a sexual nature without being traditionally.
I mean,
and they're done very realistically. I always the scenes of Martin attacking people, I always equate to the home invasion scene in Clockwork Orange. It's very hard to watch. Very documentary-ish and realist.
That made it like hard to watch. But yeah, so it's like he goes to live with his cousin. I always thought it was his uncle, but it's his cousin who's like this old, like very religious old school guy who's like, and they know, that's the thing, is that they know that he is sick. They know Martin's sick. And they're just like, well, I'll get you a job and stuff. And I will.
Tatakuda.
He's essentially just like,
and he thinks he is a vampire.
Oh, yeah, because he calls him like Nosferatu. You're Nosferatu, and he hangs garlic up around the house and stuff like that. So he thinks
he really the cousin thinks he's a vampire.
I did make some notes on this one. Sorry. Very art house. Tom Savini's in it.
Yeah.
I wrote one of my notes is "Calm down, Uncle," and then like, oh wait, the kid's a murderer. Never mind. It's so this movie for me is like very much about unchecked mental health and not having a support system.
Yeah, because the other thing about this movie is that you care a lot about Martin.
Which is really weird and conflicting. Yeah. Because it's like, how are they making me feel kind of bad for this guy? But then at the same time, he's killing people.
Yeah, but never in this movie am I like, goddamn Martin, I never feel...
It's like I go back and forth, because when he's doing it, I'm like, oh, he's stalking people now. But it's at the same time, it's like, he's very sick. He's very... And
he thinks he's doing it for survival.
Yeah, he thinks he's like 85 years old.
Yeah.
And it's like, they even say that there's like a history of mental illness in the family. But of course, the cousin, like Tanta Kringle, what's his name? Tanta Kringle is like, oh, and your father was a vampire.
We should redo that Heart song. It's like, ooh, Tatakuda.
Yes. He's like, your father was a vampire, your grandfather was a vampire, and it's like, even at one point, there's the, I can't remember who the woman is in relation to. Maybe she's a cousin or something that lives with Tanta Kringle.
Which is George Romero's ex-wife.
Oh, shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And she's even like, no, he's sick.
Yeah.
Like, he's mentally ill.
She's the only reasonable person in the entire movie.
And then Tanta Kringle like smacks her. He's like, nope, vampire. It makes me feel bad and sad because... It's crazy because it's like the fucking Tanta Kringle knows that Martin has killed people and done bad things, but instead of like, we have to get him help, put him in a hospital, it's like, no, we'll get him a job and I'll just like give you exorcisms. You know what I mean? So it's like, you are also responsible.
And and Martin's so nice with everybody he meets. The lady he delivers groceries to, and like he's such a genuine, nice kid.
Just be okay.
Yeah.
But then it's like, also now I got to drug these people and do some gross stuff with them.
So
and then
did you come out of it agreeing with me that it's brilliant, or
it is? Yeah. It's funny. When it very first started, I was like, ooh, this is artsy and weird. I don't know if I'm going to like this.
Right.
But as it went
and we
on,
won't
I was
spoil
like,
anything, but also one of the best endings of all time.
pretty fucking crazy. Yeah,
Crazy ending.
it really was. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can't get. I don't want to get into it, but
if you like vampire movies and you like disturbing, heavy content, watch Martin.
It left me feeling like weird after the movie. It's kind of like. Also, I think because it's like very. Not amateur, sorry, like low budget, like you said, documentary style. It feels much more real.
Yeah,
it left me with like a sick feeling.
Yeah,
which I mean, I don't know if a movie affects you one way or another. I think it's kind of successful, you know.
Yeah, it's
a movie. It's on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
People for free.
Yeah.
So if you do want to check it out, watch it, but just know that it's very.
That's youtube.com.
Yeah.
It's on the internet.
Yeah, www World Wide Web period.
We've already wasted enough.
Yeah, we have. But anyway, yeah. So it just know going into it that it's a pretty fucking heavy movie and it's very disturbing, but it's very unique.
And John Amplas is
that guy. I was like, what did I say? He was
amazing.
To me, he felt like 1970s or 80s Mark Hamill and early Brad Dourif had a kid.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
He definitely had a great sense of realism and natural ability.
Yeah,
he was really great.
So that's great. Do we want to just kind of like fire off a couple?
Yeah, let's go through a few and just give our opinions on it.
30 Days of Night.
Yeah, love it.
Fucking love 30 Days of Night.
Brilliant.
Everything about it's great. The cast is amazing. The look of the movie is incredible.
Camera work's amazing.
Oh my! Everyone always talks about that.
Phenomenal.
I love that the vampires are terrifying in this. And oh my God, why did I forget his name? The main vampire, Danny Houston. That dude is like...
Danny Houston alone is one of the most underrated actors working. He is unbelievable.
He's what the kids call the bee's knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 23 Skidoo all the way.
Yeah. I'm dabbing now. That's a thing kids do. You can't see.
But yeah, and it was brilliant of those filmmakers to be like, we're going to pick like a top-notch dramatic actor to play that vampire.
Yeah, because he doesn't have much
to
dialogue.
Danny Houston for saying yes to that role. Because I think most actors of his caliber that are like very serious drama actors who act in like Oscar-nominated movies, I think most of them would be like, you want me to play a head vampire?
Yeah, it was incredible.
That doesn't really speak English and you really want me to do that.
Yeah.
And he took it and ran with it and he's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, me too.
Interview the Vampire.
Yes.
Like what else can you say? That movie's like perfect.
Again, production design and costume design and makeup, unbelievable.
I love that story of like, because Anne Rice, when she wrote it, always thought of Daniel Day-Lewis for Lestat.
Right. And he would be great.
He would be, of course. He would have turned himself into a vampire because that guy is fucking method. But Tom Cruise got cast and she was like, God damn it, really, Tom Cruise? And then it came out, she's like, yeah,
she took out a full page ad in the New York Times, I think, saying that she disagreed with it.
Yeah, and then when she saw it, she's like, holy shit, good job, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's at his best when he's a bad guy, I think.
Yeah, he's great.
I love him as a bad guy.
Come on.
Yeah. And also it's worth noting that the TV series of Interview with the Vampire is fucking dope.
I love it.
It's incredible. Yeah. Incredible. I can't wait
completely different interpretation.
Yeah.
But amazing.
Yeah. I love any of the changes they made, I absolutely love because 100%. It's its own thing.
100%.
Love it.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt in Interview. Oh my God.
So good. Everybody's so good in it.
Turmoil.
Fucking like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I am the oldest living vampire.
I don't remember Puss in Boots being in that movie.
Don't care. I'm a vampire.
And I have boots.
Yeah, he was. It was animated.
I heard Stephen Ray in that movie was great.
Oh my God, yeah. So why should you care if you die now?
It's pretty good. A little bit of Arnold. That was a bit of, that was quite
Arnold wasn't in it. Jamie, why should you care if you die now? Oh my God.
Why is Jingle All the Way in every episode?
Because it's, I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm being paid.
Interview's brilliant.
Near Dark.
Oh yeah.
I don't think gets, I mean, people,
Catherine Bigelow,
fans,
come on, but
what's that?
Catherine Bigelow.
Oh my gosh, incredible!
Love everything she's done.
Everybody in the movie is amazing. Although I hate that little kid; he's so annoying.
Yeah, I think he was meant to be like that. But
I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Lance Henriksen and Bill Paxton and Jean Tripplehorn are like
not Jean Tripplehorn.
No, not Jean Tripplehorn. What's her name?
God.
She's in all James Cameron movies.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Oh,
I feel like it's like Jean or something.
I think it is.
Maybe look it up.
Continue talking while I look it up.
Oh yeah. She's incredible. God damn it. The Tim Thomerson, I think, is Caleb's dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I can't remember who plays Caleb, but he was on Heroes. That guy, Adrian something.
Pastar.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's so good. If you haven't seen it,
Jeanette Goldstein.
Jeanette, yes, thank you. She's
amazing.
Fantastic. She's fucking kicks ass. If you haven't seen it, it's funny because it came out the same year as The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
So it got totally like overshadowed.
Yeah.
And it's another movie where they don't have fangs.
Right.
But it's like all the other, they're very vicious. That bar scene is.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton is.
They almost seem like they could be part of the True Knot from Dr. Sleep.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yeah.
Just renegade.
Just like nomadic kind of. Yeah. And it's just a very small story, really. It's a very small contained story. It's so good, though. I feel like
It's amazing.
In later years, it got the respect it deserves,
Totally
but I still feel kind of like not enough people know about it.
Yeah. I agree.
It's.
I think that happens for some reason with a lot of Catherine Bigelow movies because I love Blue Steel.
Oh shit!
With
Jamie Lee Curtis. It's been. I know I've seen it, but it's been so long.
It finally just came out on Blu-ray a few months ago, and it's an amazing thriller.
That's the one with Derek Zoolander too, right? That's where he got his signature look.
Blue Steel. It's not.
Zoolander's not in it. Not interested. No. Both Let the Right One In and Let Me In.
Yep.
Because they
are a rare occasion of a remake that holds up.
Yeah.
To the original.
It's like they are so similar, but still are their own voice.
Still very different.
I think I still prefer Let the Right One In.
So do I.
But it's
by a narrow margin.
Very, very,
and I think it's just, and it's weird because it's like, I think I like Let the Right One In better because of the two lead kids.
Me too.
But the two lead kids in the other one are also phenomenal.
Yep.
It's just the ones in the original just edge them out just a bit.
A little bit. Yeah. They're both great.
Because the girl in the original, there's something about her that's
She was perfect, I think.
She seems like an alien.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we've talked about this off camera.
Yeah.
Off podcast. Where, I mean, I have not read the novel. You have. Jordan has.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, what that vampire kid is, they haven't gone there in the movies because that's heavy shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kid, and especially like they had those fucking great scenes where it's like, because she looks like a little girl.
Yeah.
And then she's like licking the blood off the ground and looks up and it's like a totally like old face.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Awesome.
So good. And also I think it's worth mentioning, and I know we're both so goddamn mad about this, the Let the Right One In TV show.
Oh my God. Got canceled and it was
got canceled
phenomenal.
One season. Incredible. And another case where
at the very least they put it on Blu-ray so I can own it forever.
Yeah. And they switched up the story a bit too because it was a father-daughter this time, which I didn't think I would like, but it worked perfect because those actors, everyone was so good. I'm so goddamn mad.
I know. You just got to think of it. At least we got one season.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was amazing.
Do you want to throw any in there?
Yeah, I got lots.
Yeah, I know.
Innocent Blood, John Landis's Innocent Blood.
Oh, right. That's the one I just watched too.
A lot of people, John Landis is always remembered for horror for American Werewolf in London. And then they did that sequel that was horrible, really bad.
Terrible.
But then he did Innocent Blood and a lot of people just kind of wrote it off and nobody saw it. And I totally see it as, a Parisian vampire in New York. They could have called it that and it could have been a companion
overseas
piece
or something. They renamed it that.
Oh, did they really?
French vampire in America. Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently Landis was like, God damn it.
Yeah. But I think it's great. It has that same balance of like funny and horrific.
It's weird.
It's definitely weird.
Yeah. It's like I watched it.
The lead is Anne Perelot from La Femme Nikita.
Oh, right. That's where I knew her from. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anthony LaPaglia and
half the cast of The Sopranos.
Yeah, most of the Sopranos are in it.
Yeah.
And it's basically about a vampire in New York that's killing off mobsters because she doesn't like killing people.
Yeah.
So she tries to kill people who deserve it.
Yeah. And then accidentally creates vampire mobsters.
Right.
Don Rickles.
But so rewatch. He was great in it.
He was actually really good in it. I was
Don
really surprised.
Rickles was awesome.
It was weird. I forgot. And it was like I liked it. I'll start with that. I did like it.
And again, she didn't have vampire teeth, but was exceptionally vicious.
Very vicious. All the vampire stuff was great. The gore was great. Obviously they had like a new kind of contact lens technology or whatever.
It was like a light reflecting.
Yeah. Which is funny because it's like, this is early days of contact lenses. And I wonder if they were like those glass ones they used to have to wear.
Probably.
A lot of the times the pupils were kind of like looking off.
But I thought that added to like her being
weirdness,
supernatural and weird. Yeah.
It was like
I dug that.
It was it was like paced weird or something, because there was like whole scenes where there's like no, I'm like, was there supposed to be like music in the background? It was just quiet with no people like just walking around and doing stuff, this and that. And I'm like, it's paced kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like it was still like fun, and like the cast is great. And fucking Frank Oz, of course, showing up in it. Like there's a lot of cameos, I think, in it too.
Tons.
A lot of, because Dario Argento was in it.
Yeah.
Steve Johnson, like the old like the 80s
effects
makeup guy, effects guy. Linnea Quigley. Like there's a lot of like other
tons
people showing up in it, which was super fun. So yeah, overall I liked it. I don't know if it's high up in, because there's so many great vampire movies, but I still am glad I watched it.
I don't hold it up as one of the best vampire movies ever made, but I do hold it up as a great example of what John Landis does best, which is mixing genres.
Yeah.
And I think it's super fun. It has some really hilarious moments, and the vampire stuff in it is badass.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to see them revisit that character.
Yeah, it would be
pretty neat.
It was funny because there's some stuff where it's like Anthony LaPaglia is following her. She goes into a church, and then it's like her POV, and she's flying. But at no point in the rest of the movie is there any like flying. And I'm like,
some
stuff felt a little uneven in it for me.
I guess so.
But it was still fun.
Yeah. Cool. What else did I have? There was a couple from the past, I don't know, decade or so that I really liked. Byzantium with Saoirse Ronan and Gemma Arterton.
Right.
And
I haven't seen that one. I've heard about it.
So you can borrow it. Okay. It's really, really good. It's kind of classic vampires, but set in a modern setting. And they're like companions. One's younger, one's older, but they're trying to hide their existence as vampires. And it's quite brutal and really well done.
Also, for those of you playing the Real Ramblers drinking game, I just said I haven't seen it, so take a shot. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Salem's Lot.
Oh, right. I rewatched that semi-recently, too.
Yeah.
When I wasn't feeling very well the other day, I bought the 2 VHS version, and I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, I don't think. And I
think it surprisingly holds up really well.
It does. What I really like is that it's a real slow burn.
Yeah.
Like it really takes a long time.
But it never bores you.
No. It's engaging the whole time.
Yeah. I just showed it to Jay for the first time,
awesome.
right? And he really liked it too.
Yeah, Barlow is one of the scariest looking fucking vampires.
Which is all Toby Hooper, because in the book he's
he was like a suave gentleman.
Yeah,
right?
He's a gentleman.
Did they not like remake it at some point in like Rutger Hauer?
Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer.
Right.
It was a made-for-TV movie.
Okay.
It's not very good.
Okay.
But yeah, Barlow is... I think Salem's Lot may not be at the top.
Yeah.
Although it's really high for me. But Barlow is, to me, the greatest vampire that's ever been put on film.
And the vampire kid floating at the window will forever be like nightmare-inducing.
And Jeffrey Lewis in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
If
you watch this and you don't shit your pants, congratulations on not being a human. You have no emotions, you fucking robot.
Fright Night, original and remake.
I have that too. I love both of them.
Right.
They're for same reasons. It's like the remake does. We talked about this, I think, on the remake show.
Yep.
Go back and watch the remake episode on Real Ramblers.
Back on the remake show. Welcome to the remake show.
They're both like just like perfect. Like the casts are great in both.
Super fun, great vampire stuff again.
Yeah.
And again, the original is Greg Canham again, I think.
Oh, nice. And Tom Holland.
Yeah, dude knows how to do vampires.
I met Tom Holland last summer, and he's the fucking nicest guy.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
I love Fright Night. Actually, probably is high up there.
It's way high on mine.
And the poster, I always loved that poster.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Fright Night 2 is fun as well.
It's been a really long time since
I've seen it. For some reason, it's not even on Blu-ray. So.
Oh, weird. Yeah, because it's like the main vampire's sister, right?
Yeah.
She's a vampire? Yeah.
Jerry Dandridge.
Yeah. What a hilarious name.
Daybreakers.
Was that
Ethan Hawke?
Oh, shit. I did see that one.
Great movie.
I kind of forgot about that one.
Yeah, it kind of came and went, and not many people remember it, but I really dug it. It was all kind of like vampires and tech. It mixed,
right.
And it was like they ran a corporation or something.
Yeah.
It's
sometimes I'm like when they have too much like stuff with like tech and stuff with vampires, it's like what was... Because, like, okay, obviously there's a whole bunch of underworld movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
They get less fun as they go, I guess.
They do.
But it's like, when it's, I don't know, there's certain things that work for me and don't work for me.
Daybreakers didn't go over the line for me. It was really well done.
Right.
Blade.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, great. I think all three of them are fun.
Me too. I love all three. I don't know why people have problems with any of the sequels because I think they're all super fun.
Guillermo made part 2, so that's a win.
Yeah.
And you know who hates part 3? Wesley Snipes.
Really?
Yeah, he was pissed.
I don't know why. It's super fun.
Because there was a lot of attention on Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. And he's like, this movie's called Blade, not those guys.
Stole the spotlight a little.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But it was still
pretty psyched for the new one.
Yeah, if they ever fucking make it.
Yeah, I'm going to rhyme off a few more. Renfield recently.
Loved it.
Super fun. Awesome. Cage was great.
Yeah.
Afflicted. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a found footage movie.
Take a shot.
Oh, I'm going to have to.
Afflicted.
Yeah, it's found footage about these two guys who run like a YouTube channel about travel.
Okay.
And they go to like Italy or something.
I think I did see this one.
I think so.
I think I did see this one.
And then one of them goes on a date with a girl and gets bit.
It's like a found footage kind of thing, right?
Footage.
Yeah, that's right.
I just said found footage like 3 times.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Is this found footage?
No.
Okay, I thought so.
But yeah, and then he gets powers, and and his friend thinks he's sick, and he's like, "Come on, we got to like hop a plane and go home." It was like really fun. It was amazing, and the vampire stuff to see vampire strength and like things like that in found footage was really cool.
Okay, take that shot back. I said I didn't see it. Throw it up.
They can't do that. Yeah, finger in the mouth. Finger in the mouth. Blackula is
that's
actually
on my list too. I saw that for my first time a few years ago.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize because obviously it's like blaxploitation like era and stuff, and I didn't realize.
But the funny thing is, I think people write it off because it's called Blackula.
That's it. And it's honestly like not that it shouldn't be called. I don't know. It's because I didn't realize that like Dracula is in the movie.
Yeah.
And that like his character, not Dracula. I don't remember what the main guy's name is.
I'm bad with names.
Philip.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just said Philip. I just made a name. That he's like knows Dracula and he's like fighting for like to like have slaves freed and stuff. Like he's like a
William Marshall.
Well, yes, who is also the king of cartoons.
That's right.
In fucking Pee-wee.
Yep.
Dracula turns him into a vampire.
Yeah.
And it has some like creepy stuff in it.
Yeah.
Tons of homophobia.
Yeah.
Like really, really rampant.
Yeah, I mean, you got to watch it and remember that it's a product of its time and whatever.
Oh, yeah, of course it's a product of its time, yeah.
But William Marshall's great in it, and it's much more serious than you think it's going to be.
That's what I was surprised with, actually. Yeah. I thought it was more of like a comedy, and then I was like, oh shit, it's good.
It's like
I never
a
saw any
vampire movie. Yeah.
Because I don't know how many there were.
I think I have, but I don't remember them.
Yeah. From Dusk Till Dawn?
The original Nosferatu and the Werner Herzog remake.
Yeah.
Both great. Oh,
God. What's his name is like Klaus Kinski?
Klaus Kinski,
like, I mean, he's a maniac.
He's another alien.
One. Yeah. But he was terrifying in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And
yet super sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only recently learned that there was a sequel, and he's like, I'm not wearing any makeup.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to have like a full head of blonde hair, and I'm not doing any of that. Eat shit. Just film me. They're like, okie dokie, we're afraid of you.
But yeah, both great. And it's funny, going back to the really, really old classics, I will always watch the silent Nosferatu before I'll watch the Dracula for some reason.
Yeah.
I just find it more entertaining. And
it's cool, yeah. Just the makeup, everything.
Kronos, the Guillermo del Toro.
No.
From the look on your face, you don't know Guillermo del Toro made a vampire movie.
I didn't. Take a shot.
I got it. It's really good.
Huh.
And it's very different. As is with Guillermo, he invents his own mythology.
Right.
And it's all involved with this little scarab, and it's
neat.
Very interesting, really good.
I love Guillermo. So.
I'll add it to your list. Recently on Netflix, there was I don't know what country it's from. I want to say Argentina. I'm not sure if it's Argentina. There's a movie called Blood Red Sky.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, oh my God, is it awesome.
Cool, okay.
And it's basically about a mother and daughter who are taking a flight to America. Shit, I
saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, for a medical treatment for her.
Yeah.
You think she has cancer or something.
Right.
And then somebody tries to hijack the plane and you find out that she's actually a very vicious vampire. It is awesome.
Cool, okay.
Like really good.
Day Shift is another one that was on.
Day Shift was great.
It was really fun. I was actually very surprised.
You were surprised?
Yeah, I brought in all these supplies.
Okay, UHF.
Oh boy.
Supplies.
I was surprised at how fun it was. Like really, really fun.
Super
I only saw it once, but
and it's kind of along the lines of more like a Fright Night or something.
Yeah,
it's like
actually it is.
Some
yeah,
good
it's like
humor.
a comedy.
But the vampires were awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all great. It was super fun. We're checking out. Obviously, What We Do in the Shadows is one of the greatest.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like it's perfect. And of course the TV show is the tits.
It is,
as
literally.
Laszlo would say.
Yeah, if you look it up in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Also, recently, Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, so good.
For some reason, some people didn't like it. I don't know why.
Wow.
It's very old school in its approach.
Yeah.
Top-notch cast.
I feel like if they made it black and white, it would be awesome also.
Yeah.
Like it would work perfect.
Top-notch cast, amazing suspense, great production design on the ship. It's about the ship that took Dracula from Transylvania to America, or to London, I mean. And
to America. That's when Dracula discovered America.
there actually was an old Hammer movie where he comes to America.
And he discovered America?
It's called Dracula 1972 AD or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Do you have more on your list?
No, I think we covered them. There's an upcoming vampire movie that I'm dying to see.
Okay. Or undying to see?
Oh yes. And now I'm blanking on the name, but the cast. Giancarlo Esposito is in it. It's like she's like a ballerina. Abigail.
Yes,
looks incredible.
Awesome. I just saw the trailer.
The cast is so good.
Yeah,
and it looks.
And it's
just
basically about it's like a bunch of people are hired to like look after her for one night or something.
I think
and then they're locked in.
They kidnap her. They kidnap someone's daughter.
They kidnap her, right?
And it's like shit. Like then they got trapped in there with like a little vampire
and they
ballerina.
Have to survive. And she looks like she's selling it in the trailer. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little girl.
Dan Stevens is in it. Who that guy?
Yeah, he's great.
Is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just I can't even remember who else is in it, but the entire cast is stacked.
It looks
great. Like incredible. It's super fun.
I'll throw in two more before the end. Stakeland, which was like 15 years ago.
I think I need to see that again.
Really good
The first
movie.
time I saw it, I didn't love it.
It's very different too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a road movie, post-apocalyptic movie, but with vampires.
Danielle Harris is in it. She's great.
And there's also a Korean movie called Thirst, which is from the same, I want to say it's the guy who did the monster movie, The Host.
Okay.
Or it's the guy who did I Saw the Devil. I can't remember which director it is. Anyway, it's about a priest who becomes a vampire.
Oh, neat.
And it's very, it's long, but it's beautifully filmed and really cool, like elegant vampire stuff.
Neat.
But with some pretty brutal violence.
Also, there's another one, and it's like
time's up.
There was one that I had started watching. We might have started watching it here, but it got late and we had to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it, and I think it's a vampire movie that a girl walks home alone
at night. Iranian movie.
Yes, and I've heard
great.
It's like incredible.
It is. It's excellent.
Don't take a shot, everybody, because you take a half shot. I haven't finished it.
But yeah, I mean, there's probably more that we're missing. We went a little long here, but who cares?
Yeah. It's our podcast. Don't yell at us.
Yeah. But yeah, vampire movies are awesome, and I hope they keep them coming. Obviously, they've been putting out some great stuff recently with Demeter and Renfield and Abigail and Blood Red Sky. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're going anywhere.
No way. It's like that's a genre that's
and
just
Interview with the Vampires coming back for another season. So
thank God.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I love it. If you haven't seen that show, watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. So go out and share some love for the vampires.
And please let us, if we've forgotten any, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We want to know what vampire movies you guys love and what we overlooked.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it for this week there, buddy. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week again. And
we have a special guest for the sign up. I feel like I get nervous doing these now, because if I fuck up, then yeah. This is Laszlo Cravensworth here to let you know that Real Ramballas is the tits. Apparently it's a podcast, whatever the fuck that is. Now go and listen to it, or else you're a real monkey's tit. Available across the globe from Arizona, the North fucking Pole, and all the way back to New York City. Now fuck off.
Jesus. All right then. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Keep on rambling.
I wrote it.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.